All right, let's take a look at how that Supreme Court ruling on affirmative action that happened, I don't know, earlier this year, I think. I basically discontinued, cut off affirmative action when it came to creating diversity in colleges. Right. Let's take a look at how that has started to now affect the demographics at colleges. For those of you who don't know, colleges just started up last week or a couple of weeks ago, and so this is the first look at how those removing those programs from school affects enrollment. All right, so let's check this out. It's Ricky Rich with Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. Oh, I forgot to mention this is at MIT as well. So, prestigious school, and one that has seen a pretty significant change in the demographics of enrollment.
Your class began orientation. As MIT's incoming first-year class began orientation this week in Cambridge, Massachusetts, the elite university's president speaking out about the makeup of the class of 2028.
What it does not bring as a consequence of last year's Supreme Court decision is the same degree of broad racial and ethnic diversity.
The roughly 1,100 members of the class, the first shaped in part by the Supreme Court's decision striking down affirmative action in school admissions.
I'm very surprised and I'm honestly shocked that it would have dropped so much.
Black and African Americans making up just 5% of students compared to 13% in the previous 4 years. Hispanic students, 11%, down from 15%. But Asian American students up 47% from 41%. And white students holding steady at 37% from 38% previously. Students we spoke to here concerned.
I do think, like, when I look out at my class, you see a lot of people who look like me and much fewer people who look different from me.
Diversity is actually one of the biggest reasons that I came to MIT.
I definitely think it's a sending shift.
MIT professor Danielle Wood believes cutting race from the equation was a mistake. What do you think that does to the campus at large?
I think it harms the campus. There is a lot of research that shows that it's important for students of all backgrounds to feel both welcomed and as though they belong. Plus, more diverse environments produce more innovation.
Wood is both the chair of the African American Studies program at MIT and a former student.
I really would say that I'm in mourning, in part because I know there's people like me who might have had a chance to study at MIT and they won't have that opportunity.
At least 3 other schools releasing their data showing dips in black enrollment ranging from small to 8%.
How do we get the desired results of diversity without compromising merit?
Deborah Alexander's son, Augie, is starting the college application process. She says she values diversity, but that the playing field needs to be leveled well before college.
Admission to college should be based on, again, that best fit. And the best fit for an academic setting should be the academic merit of the child.
Here at MIT, the university is vowing to find ways to increase diversity without violating the Supreme Court ruling. That means increasing outreach to minority communities and promoting its financial aid programs. 9 states had previously banned affirmative action at its public universities. Most saw a drop in minority students immediately after. Are you hopeful for the future?
I have to stay hopeful because that's what keeps us focused on being creative and innovating.
A long road ahead in the quest for diversity on campus. Rahima Ellis, NBC News, Cambridge, Massachusetts.
It's interesting to me. This is pretty interesting. I've said in videos before that, excuse me, the whole DEI movement, I didn't necessarily agree with. I think the programs and the emphasis on leveling the playing field is absolutely needed. I could say the only thing that I really disagreed with A lot of the inclusion programs and efforts out there were really the jobs. A lot of the jobs, in my opinion, felt like jobs that were just created uh, to create this facade of something happening, some change being made, and nothing was actually being made. Yeah, you hire a few black folks, put them in these diversity, DEI job titles, and you think, oh, we made change because we did this. No, but there are lots of programs, including the ones in in the school system that I would agree with in terms of making sure that um, at least the population of each demographic is shown at your school, right? Like black folks on paper make up like 15% of the population, right? We know that to be more based on how things are set up, but on paper, just for this conversation's sake, we will say that we make up 15% of the population. You cannot tell me that there's not 15% uh, of the applications that go into MIT that are not from very, very, very qualified African American students or people that identify as black students. You cannot tell me that that's not the case. With or without a program, you cannot tell me that's the case. So I believe in these types of movements in the college system to be able to bring that up. Like they said, I think it was like 13% before, and down to 5. So it's almost a third of the African Black and African American students. It's only a third of what it was previous from the previous 4 years. So there needs to be something to continue to level the playing field in a lot of these spaces. Um, so I just this will be a tough conversation. I think it's going to be tough for a long time because you're just fighting against, like, you don't want a program that's going to be pushing just to fill seats, right? And unqualified people, whether it be black, Hispanic, Asian, white, whatever. You don't want people who are unqualified to be in there just to push a narrative. You actually want to get those qualified folks in there. And so there has to be something. There has to be something. But this is terrible, in my opinion. I know when I went to school out here in California, one of the state schools out here, and the the black population was like 2%, and I could see it. It was actually less than 2. It was like 1.8% or something like that, 1.7%. And they it was weird. Like the brochure I was looking at, mind you, this is a popular California school, and I wanted to go there my entire life. Or I had always seen myself at that school my entire life. But it's funny looking at the brochure. They say, "Oh, we're diverse," and it's like, are you really? It's like we don't. You can't. I remember telling my boy, like, they say diverse, but they don't even have, a fraction of the makeup of African Americans that we see in the neighborhood, in the city that the college is in. Like, like I said, 12, 13, 15%, whatever statistic you're looking at, they don't even have that. And so is it really diverse? Um, but yeah, something's really got to change. And I know that, like I said, even going to the school that I went to, there's so many more applicants that are qualified to be there, right? I have to make sure I say that. because you know, that's one of the big things when it comes to DEI and affirmative action and all that, is that, you know, people are given handouts. No, people aren't. Not everyone is getting handouts, right? There's a lot of qualified people who are trying to get into these spaces who can't get in for whatever reason, right? All these roadblocks, and the system is designed in a way to keep certain individuals out, and all of that needs to be really fixed, and changed. And so this will be interesting. I'm sure this will silently, you know, go away. But I'm glad I saw it, and I definitely wanted to share it. So y'all let me know what y'all think on this change. You let me know what you think on your thought, or let me know your thoughts on DEI as well, and affirmative action, and you know, where you see that, how you feel about them removing a lot of that out of the schools and a lot of the programs and states and jobs and things like that. Yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think. All right, it's Ricky Rich with Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.